The black man is the strongest human species on earth. But again, the black man is the most oppressed human species on earth because he has allowed himself to be used by other men who have developed sophisticated weapons to defend themselves. A black man will take pride in being an army, uh, a member or an officer in the army of another person's uh, country. Yes, we don't have a strong army in Africa. We have different tiny little armies, but we don't have like one united army. Like for example, now the way other men have put themselves together and developed the NATO or something like that, you know. So because of that, the black man continues to take pride in other people's religion, you know. I know most of my people also have been affected by this one because they have either chosen to be Christian or Muslim, but this is not a definition that is supposed to be used for African, because a religion is something that sometimes our parents recruit us into, schools recruit us into, but it is not part of our identity, you know. So the black man is the most, in all the pastors in the world, that have kept and continue to strengthen the presence of Christianity, of which Christianity is a white culture. You know, the way weddings are done, women have to wear white and all these things. And then in Christianity, funerals are represented with black clothing, of which the Christianity shows that the devil is black. And so we just continue to embrace these things blindly, you know, and yet it is just the continuation of the white culture, you know. And Christianity is something that was put together by white men in power, you know. And of course, Arab culture, the same thing, was put together by Arabic men. Yeah, most of these religions have said women cannot do this, women cannot do that, because they want us to be on a higher realm, or rather on a higher rank than women. Yeah, so it has come to a time that you black men, you must know who you were before slavery and colonization happened to you. You were our warriors, you were undefeated, you were strong, and now you have been caught up with this new agenda of saying you can be whatever you want to be, you can be a woman. No, we have our own strength in terms of spirituality, but you know, our African gods assigned our gender at birth. All these other things that you are now following, a definition of who you can be, using other men's thoughts. You know, these are not things that have started with us as Africans, you know. These are things you're copying from other men as well. Come up with your own. Study how your ancestors lived. Actually, you don't even have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to remember who you are. You just have to remember who your ancestors are and just do things how your ancestors did them. So we are challenging you as the women that for a very long time you have failed to protect us. For a very long time you have failed to pray, because you know you men are supposed to be the head of our family, but for the longest time possible, you people, as you were allowing yourself into this kind of oppression, allowing, like if you go to most prisons in the world where black men are a population, you are the most incarcerated people. And so, as you were being taken away into prison, as you were going to fight into these other men's wars, you left us, the women, to take care of your children. And for the last 400 years, we've been doing so. Even though sometimes we got enslaved together with you, we still bore our children, we still struggle to take care of them amid it all. So it's high time you men wake up and know who you are, unite and form a strong Africa. That is the only way other black men who live outside the African continent can be respected. Unless Africa is respected, unless Africa is strong, then we can never gain respect out here, you know? So it's high time you, our men, wake up. You are our warriors, you are our protectors. Go back to the worship of our gods, because you are supposed to be the head. You're supposed to worship the right way. You're supposed to uphold our cultures. You're supposed to do the right thing, so that as men, women, and your children can continue to preserve generations for you. One thing that you see is that when a black man gets riches, or an African man for that matter, gets riches, he usually goes out. Look at the example of footballers. They go out there, they make money, they have to look for a white woman to marry. But most of our women, whenever they get money, they still marry at home. They still, because at the end of the day, after you die, your inheritance goes to your black children. But if you get married to a white woman, your inheritance will have to go to your white children. They will go and marry out there, or maybe she will move on, get married somewhere else, and your millions are lost in inheritance. So in order to have strong black families, we need strong black men, strong economically, strong politically, strong in African spirituality, strong in every possible way. And that's our challenge to you. So yeah, wake up. You really need to wake up. Congratulations to the men in Niger, the men in Mali, the men in Burkina Faso. They are standing up and protecting what belongs to them. So those are the kind of things we need to start seeing in Africa. Men who are standing up to be able to protect the wealth. Can you imagine? The wealth has been stolen for the last 500 years, but still the African gods keep impregnating our soils with more gold, more water, more silver, more everything of each natural resources that we have. So it's never too late for us to wake up. It's never too late. I mean, if you just wake up now, we still have the golds in our soils, we still have the rivers, we still have the waters, and all some of these things, the rivers, the mountains, they came and named them in their own languages. But our ancestors have the languages that they named these things. I mean, they came and divided Africa, but here in Europe, in America, they have free borders. Why must we as African men dictate and uphold the things that were put in place by other men? You know, a few white men sat in a conference in Berlin, 1884. It wasn't very long ago, and they decided to split up Africa. But you men have impressed those boundaries, because most of you are the presidents. As women, we can only watch, but you are leading us astray. We need you to wake up and know that these people do not have these boundaries that you so much embrace, you know. They are trading with each other, freely getting married with each other. They don't have tribes. It's only in Africa where we kill each other because of tribe. You know, we need to really wake up, do away with tribalism, do away with these borders, have one passport, have one united Africa, and just save our generation. Yes, because we deserve the best. We deserve to enjoy the riches that Mother Nature has granted to us. Is our birthright, is the birthright of our children. And as women, we want to request you, our men, to stand up and do the right thing for the sake of ourselves and our future generations.